Hey, Central Texas, welcome to Kids Community Connections at My Kiss 1031. This is Phyllis Jones, your host for this hot morning. You know that. You know, I'm going to change my not change how I do this, but I'm going to change the wording. I'm going to call it my community box. Because, you know, every now and then I have to step on our community box because we do things that don't make sense. That we think they make sense, but they don't make sense. So I'm going to talk about what happened this weekend. You know, I'm going to step on some toes. I'm not going to name names, but I'm going to crush some toes. Okay, as you all know, I'm very involved in the community of Killeen and everywhere. So I do a whole bunch of things. But I belong to the Bell County Child Welfare Board. Bell County Child Welfare Board, what our job is we take care of foster kids. We're the ones when a child is taken from home, as you know or don't know, I'll put it that way. When a child is taken from home, that's all he got. He gets no suitcase, and you know, he gets no suitcase. He's just taken, so he has no clothes except for what he got on. If it's pajamas, that's all he got. So the Bell County Child Welfare Board, we have a rainbow room. Inside the rainbow room is everything a child could need from the age 3 days old till 18. Everything. Diapers, clothes, shoes, toiletries, you name it, we have it. And we are reaching out to the community because the demand is getting larger than we can fill. So we're reaching out to the community to say, hey, when you go to the store, throw a couple of bottles in your basket. Donate them to the Rainbow Room because you might not think it's high, but right now in Bell County, we have over 400 kids in foster care. And we have another 200 and over 200 cases under investigation. Doesn't sound very good. So this is not going away. But anyway, this week, I invited Councilwoman, I'm going to just say her name because she's a councilwoman, like I said, Shirley Fleming, and Councilman Steve Harris and Gregory Johnson. Also the district deputy of LULAC, Anna Luisa Tapia. I invited them to the Rainbow Room because it's in our city and we didn't know about it. Our city council never knew it existed, which is really weird, but they didn't know it existed. So we're in the Rainbow Room, we were talking. Well, one of our council people, Gregory Johnson, went back on his Facebook page to talk about his experience and everything about the Rainbow Room. Now, mind you, listen, Rainbow Room belongs to Bell County Child Welfare Board. Okay? CPS belongs to the state. Okay, so remember what I said. All right, so I'm reading the Facebook post. First of all, I thank Greg for doing it because, you know, he did it and it's making people more aware of it. So a couple of people were like, you know, I got some books to donate. I got things to donate. Then all of a sudden, kabang. The conversation went way left. It went to CPS got money. Okay, they got money, but we're Bell County Child Welfare Board. Then it goes to CPS is stealing money. Caseworkers are doing it. We went way left field to somewhere else, right? So a couple of people went back to bring the conversation back to giving to our kids. Because that's what we're talking about, is supporting our youth, you know, making sure that when they're taken from their home, they have new clothes, new shoes, new everything. So the conversation went back to there, and guess what? Somebody still took a left again, and then they got personal stance. And to me, what you did was you took away from the thought of helping your children, helping our community, and you went to I me. You went to I want to say this. So people kept going back to CPS. You know, finally, you know, Phyllis, you know what I mean? That was it. All right. You know, I'm like, okay, this is it. It's got to go. So I went 5th grade on them. And you know what I mean by 5th grade. If you don't know what I mean, I talk 5th grade language to them so they understand exactly what I meant. And I explained. My guest is sitting there like, no, she didn't. And I explained that Bell County Child Welfare Board is Bell County Child Welfare Board. We're a board. CPS is over there. So I had to adults, I had to explain it again that we're separate. If CPS could have $2 million, that's not our problem. That's theirs. We are taking care of kids over here. So what I'm saying to adults, you know, when an issue arises and we're talking about taking care of our kids, don't insert yourself in there. Keep yourself out of it. If you have nothing to contribute to the conversation to help our youth, be quiet. Take your conversation someplace else. Because what you did was destroy a whole line started by a city council person giving, you know, kudos to us doing the Rainbow Room, to helping us reach out. He's helping us reach out to a community. People are talking about giving, then all of a sudden, slam bang, we go to CPS got money, what caseworker is good, who took kids away. I didn't ask any of that. See, the way kids getting taken, that's not our problem. That's not for us. Only thing we concerned is when the child gets taken away, this is what we got for you. We don't care about it was wrong. It's not that we don't care about it. It's not our job. Our job is not is that right? Did you do it right? No. Our job is this child has been taken. Let's give him some fresh new clothes. Let's give him a teddy bear. Let's give him some diapers. Give him some food. Let's give him everything that he needs so that when he goes somewhere else, somebody did care. Somebody cared enough to give him that. So, you know what I'm saying, adults? When the conversation is going one direction and you got a personal issue, post your own issue on your own page and go from there. But don't take away from us trying to help children who you say are today, but you kick them to the curb when it comes to supporting them. You know, and, you know, for me, first of all, I was like, these people are crazy. Then after that, you know, I was like, okay, it's time for me to step in, because I was trying not to step in. I really was. Because I'm like, you know, let's ride this out. And then I realized there was no right out. There was no right out. There was just a continuation of boredom people doing something like that. And, you know, why I'm talking about it? Because we do it a lot. We'll see a conversation where we can get a smidgen in and turn it to the left. And we took that. But we took that against children. We didn't take that against other adults. We took it against children. So what I'm saying to this is, you know, when you on social media and somebody got a posting, don't take it to the left. Start your own. Go to your page, start your own. But what I will thank is one lady on that Facebook post, she did just that. She took that conversation and said, hey, let's go to my post and discuss that. She did that. And I'm going to just say her name too, Melissa Brown. I want to thank you, Melissa, for doing that, because she took the conversation. She realized where it was going to, and she took it away and moved it to her post so they could discuss it over there. So I want to thank her for doing that. But yeah, my soapbox, my community box, don't do that, people, please. You know what? It's just not cool. And it shows our unintelligence. And I said that nicely, because you know the other word I was going to use, but I didn't use it. I was really nice about it. But it shows that we're not intelligent. And it also shows that we don't care what somebody's saying. We're going to say what we got to say, whether it makes sense or not. And that doesn't sound intelligent at all. And it's bad that I got to say it, but I'm going to say it because you know what? You know who you are. You do know who you are, who I'm talking to, because I told you I was going to talk about it on the radio. I actually told everybody on that Facebook post that was a good lead in for my show today. And, you know, most people didn't believe me. And I don't know why people don't believe me when I tell you I'm going to do it, because I'm going to do it, you know. But just saying, next time, you know, when we're talking about something, especially our kids, who I consider very precious. And if you know me, I'm more about kids than I am adults. I am that one. I haven't grown up yet, and I don't want to, because being an adult is scary. Those people are crazy. But next time we're on something with our kids, stay there. Don't take it and make it a negative. Don't take it and slam it someplace else. Leave it with our kids. Leave the conversation with our children. Because you know what? We don't know. They could have read that post too. They could have read that post and go, wow, we thought these people was for us, and now these people aren't. We don't know. You know, we just know the ones who posted, but of the other people who read it, just think what they think of the person who did that. Just think of the reputation of yours you just took around, and people go, well, I know so-and-so would do something like that. Yeah, they did. They truly did. So what I'm saying is, remember social media, remember how it works, and remember when it trails one direction, leave it in the direction it began. If you got to start a new trail, use your own darn post to do it. And I said that word nicely too. I'm being really good today. I haven't said all the other words I wanted to say, but please do that. Okay, that was my community box for this morning. And I'm saying it with love. I'm saying it because I'm stepping on your toes. So I want you to say ouch, and let's get this right. And let's do social media the way it's supposed to be. It should be an information trending thing. It should be oh my goodness, I didn't know that. It should be information trending. It shouldn't be let's destroy. That's not what it should be for. But anyway, okay, now on to my guest. My guest, he's been a guest here for a while. He's been a guest for a while. And one thing I say about him is he thinks he disappears and reappears. No, he doesn't. He really doesn't. He think he does, but nah. I'm here to let him know that, I'm sorry, but he's not the, disappearing man. He might want to be one of those superhero people that disappears, but nah. All he does is he goes underground and he comes back up. Because he's a child of the 70s too. And in the 70s, you didn't disappear. You just went underground for a couple of seconds. And, and it's good to go underground sometimes. I'll go underground for a weekend and people assume that I'm busy. They assume that I'm out in the streets somewhere when in actuality I'm not. I'm hiding myself away from you, but people just assume that I'm out there, so I like it. But anyway, Chemo's been on a show before. Good morning, Chemo.
Thank you, Phyllis. Hello.
He's been teaching us and talking to us and keeping us aware, keeping us in the year that we're in, because we are having a problem sometimes staying within the year that we're in, and we're trying to go back years that are past and forgetting that we got to follow the trend. And so Chemo's helping us stay with the trend. So and also and going back to social media is one of the key things that Chemo's going to talk to us about, along with our businesses on social media. So good morning again.
Hello.
He's like,
hello everybody. Thank you. I'm so glad because I've been sitting over here boiling the whole time you were talking. So I'm going to go back to what you said about the kids. I've been a lot of people don't know this. I've been a CASA for an active 15 years. Mm-hmm. If they don't know what that is, the court appointed special advocate for abused and neglected children. And not to get off the topic, but you opened it up, and mm-hmm. this is exactly what relates to what and why you brought me on here, right, and what I have to talk about. Because again, the social media platforms are platforms to be used to help, but not necessarily give you the freedom of the speech that you think you have to say whatever you want to say. And it's creating a problem within the community, but more so for our young people. And this is something you might be aware of, and most people may not be aware of this, but human trafficking and sex trafficking has gone up mm-hmm. dramatically because of the simple fact of social media and the way that it's used to connect to get these children or these adults and put them into that slavery. So, I posted a picture I don't know, some months ago, and Phyllis just happened to be the first one to respond to it. And I put it there not to cause any drama or anything. It's just something that was on my mind, and I had participated in doing a social experiment, in California. And so the picture was a cell phone, and the cell phone had shackles around a shackle on the wrist and on the cell phone. And, I made the caption that this is the new, bondage, free yourselves. And honestly, Miss Phyllis, I would just have to say that you're spot on by saying what you said about social media.
Right.
Social media, and we have to remember, and I'm glad you asked me to do this, because social media, we have to remember, was started just to keep up with friends. Mm-hmm. That is it. It has turned into something crazy since then. But we have to go back and we have to say, okay, when Facebook was first started, Mark Zuckerberg did that just to keep up with his friends, his college friends. That was it. He didn't intend for it to do what it's doing.
Right.
All right. But there's reasons why. Before that, there was MySpace. Yeah. See, everybody forgot about MySpace. Now, MySpace in return gave anybody a platform to just put a profile up and say, this is who I am. All right. So when Facebook started, MySpace tend to just leave the atmosphere. Okay. So we're going to kind of fast forward, because I'm going to take you on a journey. We're going to kind of fast forward, and then we're going to go back a little bit. So first of all, since Facebook has started, there are questions that nobody ever asks. Here's one of the questions. Why is Facebook free? I want y'all to think about that just for a while, because I'm going to come back to it, not this time, but later on when Phyllis has me come back the next time. Why is Facebook free? Why do you have the ability to put whatever you want on Facebook, not pay one single dime for it? A lot of people can't answer that question, but they utilize it.
Right.
Okay. So with it being free, is it something that is beneficial to us? I don't know. We're going to find out. So as we move on with this in social media and what it's used for, it's a tool. It's exactly what you said it was. It's a tool.
Yeah.
It is there to do research. It is there to, look at certain things and for individuals to look at it and attack it from a different angle, not to go on there. And you can do the social media thing. You can have a personal page and, have your family and friends or whatever.
Right.
But when you step outside of that and you start getting into, areas like what you said,
right,
where here I'm talking about, the what was it?
The Rainbow Room.
The Rainbow Room.
Yeah.
And now everybody comes on with an opinion. What gives you the right to even have an opinion? The thing is if she comes on and says, we need this, then that's all you need to do. You need to show up and you need to drop in some toothbrushes or some clothes or some shoes or whatever and leave social media just right there, because we don't know the harm that social media is doing to us because of the way we're presenting ourselves. We're presenting ourselves and millions of people see that.
Yeah.
And we think, oh, well, nobody sees it. Only my friends see it. Wrong. A whole lot of people see it. So all those people that see it now have made judgment of you based on some of the things that you've said or some of the opinions
right,
that you have given. And I'm going to keep it real with everybody. I'm like you. I wouldn't speak on this subject if I wasn't guilty of it myself. But I corrected it, after, doing certain things. I saw myself starting to fall into that same addiction that everybody was falling into. I would be in the same room with my children or with certain people, and I'd be on my phone, and none of us are talking. None of us are,
right,
doing anything. Everybody's on their phone. And I'm going, something's wrong. I'm losing disconnection with my own family. I'm not saying phones and cell phones are bad. I'm not. Cell phones were created for ease of operation, convenience.
Yeah.
All right. Not so that you could buy a cell phone to put an app on it and do all kind of crazy things with it.
Or text people that's in your same house.
Oh, right. Or text people that's in
y'all both in the same house. You're going to text them.
Absolutely.
What do you want for dinner? For real?
Absolutely.
We're in the same house.
And I think we lost sight of that, Phyllis. I really do. I mean, I know personally I have, but I fixed that. Now right, I'm not on my phones. And, I was charged with doing an experiment with, when I was in California with some college students, and the results were remarkable. I mean, I was like, wow, I didn't know we were as messed up as we are when it comes to these phones. Right. So, I'm just going to talk about that now, and I'm going to go back. So let's go back before there was a social media. Ooh. Let's go back before that. You have a phone. You had it. There was no AOL online. Let's just say the internet wasn't there, but we had a cell phone, because cell phones did exist without right, internet.
Yep, they sure did.
Now, the people who had those cell phones were normally people who did business, i.e. drug dealers, whoever, or people who could afford to buy a cell phone. So I say us common folk really didn't have a need to have a cell phone. We didn't. So we went on with our daily lives and we did whatever we had to do. But the thing that propelled us was the fact that we did what we're doing now.
Right. We talk.
We're all looking in the room. We're all we're looking at each other. We're speaking. The one thing that everybody has overlooked, and I don't know if you have, is where we are right now. Radio. Radio is the original social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
the original social media. And I don't care what anybody says. You ain't going to not convince me of that. It is the original social media. It's people like you and all these other radio show hosts that came on the air before Facebook and Snapchat and all that was performed, that got up every morning. And this was the channel to awareness. This was a channel to coming face to face. This was a channel to building better communities. And now social media has pushed radio sort of out of the way in some kind of, cases. Right. So, I want everybody who's listening to just go back and think about, what did you do before we got to social media, before we got to Facebook?
Yeah. You know what made me, one day I was at the outlet, and I thought it was a little kid in a stroller, parent pushing the kid in the stroller, and it was a picture that did not make sense. The kid had a bottle and a tablet. And I'm like, what? I'm like, hold up.
Oh, that's funny.
But I'm like, wait, hold up. Right. Wait. He got a bottle
and a tablet.
And I'm looking, and he in a stroller. And I'm sitting there like, this picture is one, to me, the dumbest picture in the world. It was because I'm sitting there, I'm like, he in a stroller. He not even in school yet. He's not even had a life really yet. And yet he chilling in a stroller with a tablet and a bottle. And I'm like, to me, I want to say, Mom and Daddy, do you see what I see? And to me, they would say, no, they don't see what I see. But I'm like, he's already under control. He's already under control. His mind is under control. So he doesn't know at that outlet. He don't know anybody walking by him. He doesn't get to see the sun. He's not looking at the flowers. He's not looking at anything except for that tablet.
He's missing life.
So yeah, I'm like, I'm like, and to the parents, he's quiet. Okay, yeah, you got a quiet child, but if I ask, if later time, did your mother take you to the outlet? He could go, oh yeah, what did you see? I don't know.
I mean, I'm laughing, but that is so true.
I don't know what you see. I was on my tablet.
Yeah.
And then I work in the school district, and when I see kids walking up to school, the parents bringing them to school, the kids on the tablet, on the parents' phone rather, walking up to the door. And then you get the kid with the separation issue. I'm like, give the phone to your mother. And it's like, for real. And then I want to tell them, you created this. You created this child that you cannot get him to do anything unless you give him your phone. So you got to bribe him with your phone so he can play with your phone from your vehicle to the school door.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, now we have a controlled population of kids who are the control is everything on that phone or that tablet. That's it right there. And that's all that matters. And I'm like, so they don't get to see the craziness. They don't see the simple things because, the little kid, I said he wasn't in a stroller with a bottle and a tablet. I'm like, this is the worst I've, and to me, I was like, that's like the lowest of the low. Come on, he can't even walk most likely, but he can use that tablet and he got a bottle. So that picture threw me for a while because I'm like, is this where we're going?
No, you're right. That is exactly what is happening. I mean, like I said, most of us, including myself, are guilty of that. I've just become aware of how I was using, even just the phone or the tablet or, social media.
Right.
It is somewhat form of a control. Do we have control of it or does it have control of us is the question. It doesn't have control of all of us, but some of us and most of us. And I've had, young people tell me straight to my face, I admit it, I'm addicted. I'm addicted to Snapchat and all this.
Yeah.
That time that they're wasting, they don't understand that they're wasting. And that's one of the things that, that touched my heart a lot because when I made that post, I made that post based on experience. I didn't make that post just because it was a fun thing to do. I have extensive experience dealing with social media and why it doesn't help our businesses grow. And I'm going to be honest with you. I know I'm going to touch on that later. I'm not even going to mess with that topic right now because you and I both know that's a touchy subject when it comes to social media and business. And everybody who's on social media who has a business thinks they have a business, and there's a whole lot missing. So I'm not going to hit on that. I'm going to hit on just exactly what you talked about, because I believe that in some cases you're right, you know, especially in this community, about our togetherness. The community is being pulled apart. I don't see unity through social media because we don't come face to face.
Right.
People are afraid to sit in front of me or come to my office or just talk to me. They don't get to know me. They assume, okay, that what they see on social media is me.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Right.
And, you know, that's why I'm so, you know, touchy about this, you know, because I'm going to challenge the listeners to do one thing. And, you know, some of you may not do it, but I want you to do it, because when I come back on, you know, after Miss Phyllis invites me back, thank you again. I appreciate that. I want some results. You can call Miss Phyllis and you can tell her what the results are, but I've done this experiment already in California in a university. So what I want you to do is I want you to erase your Facebook apps, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and all of those social media apps off of your cell phone.
Ooh, you want people to do what?
Again, I'll repeat. I want you to take your social media apps, your cell phones, off of your cell phones, your Snapchat, your Twitter.
You ask people to, we're on a funeral service.
your Instagram, and just don't get rid of the platform. Just take it off of your cell phone. Just get it off of your cell phone and act like it doesn't exist. And I want you to do that, if you can, for at least a week. And you'll be alarmed by the results that you'll get, and seeing just how much those things are controlling you, because your phone then becomes just a phone.
Yes.
You'll find yourself not going to Facebook, and you'll find yourself not doing that. Your time will be used a little bit more wisely. And so that's the challenge. Erase them. You can keep them on your desktops because you're not in front of your desktop all the time.
Right.
But got to get them off your phone for a while. So that's the challenge to start.
Do you have a 12-step program for that?
I wish I did, but I really don't think I do.
That's a 12-step program.
I would tell you, it was like rehab for me when I did it.
It would be.
And when I did it, Phyllis, I'll be honest with you, you know, I saw a lot of things I didn't even think I would see, because my time wasn't on my phone.
On your phone. I
was able to look at certain things and I say, wow, I didn't know those flowers were growing over there. I don't walk past them for how long? Because I'm always doing this.
Yeah.
And so I started missing out on life. And so when I stopped doing that, when I just said, well, I'm going to keep them on my desktop, but I'm going to erase them from my phone, then and only then, my business, my life, everything started to flourish. It started to get better, because then I was aware, I was able to connect with people. People don't call. What's the point of having a phone number? They don't call it. They text it.
They text you.
You
on
know,
Facebook.
I have phone numbers. They don't. My phone never rings. You know, and I have two phones, and it never rings. So what's the point? But what will they do? They will go to social media in a heartbeat, and they will look at certain profiles that they follow, and they'll make all types of comments and things like that. Well, you know, freedom of speech. Hey, we're in America. You can do what you want. But the part that I think they're missing is why they have been in the same positions year after year, and what that time that they're using is being spent on social media platforms was valuable time that could have been used somewhere else. And they don't see that part. And I know for a fact that I do because I stopped it.
Right.
I don't have social media on my phones. So that's the challenge for now.
Okay, who's going to accept this challenge? I want to know. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you got to be bold about wanting to do it. It's not there to say, I'm trying to punish you. It's there so it helps you and brings some awareness to what's going on with you. If that's the case, and everybody that's in this room,
Ooh.
if you're telling me you can't live without social media, that's untrue.
Right.
Because before MySpace and Facebook, what did you do?
That's true.
That's the question. I said we would go forward and then we would go back. Okay, because this training, you asked me to do this,
yes.
So I'm doing it. We already fast forwarded to where we are right now. We know it has control of us. Okay, if you can't accept this challenge, it's got control of you.
That's right.
You're afraid of something. You're afraid that, your business is going to lose money. Well, first of all, and I told you I wasn't going to hit on that because that's a touchy subject, but I will later.
Yeah, because my other guest, he is. He's like, I'm listening. He got this look like he said, "Do what?" He said, "Do what?"
I'm just calling it like it is. You know. No offense to anybody out there listening. It's just important that we know who we are and what we're able to do. We're losing a connection, and again, remember what I told you? The connection was that we're losing is this right here.
Conversation.
We don't do this.